there, friends. Welcome to Bronze Medal Moms. We aren't going for gold, we're going for bronze on the daily. I'm Amy.
And I'm Amanda, and we are here to remind you that you don't have to be perfect to show up, survive, and even thrive in motherhood.
All right. Oh, let me start.
It's you.
Hey, friends. Welcome back to Bronze Medal Moms. I am Amy.
And I'm Amanda. And around here, we don't hand out gold stars unless it's for surviving bedtime.
Oh my gosh, yes. And today we're diving into the chaos, the comedy, and the caffeine-fueled reality of bedtime battles. But in particular, that shift from the summer free-for-all to the back-to-school routine.
And spoiler alert, it's not pretty. It's basically like going from Kids Gone Wild to boot camp lights out, and the kids aren't exactly signing up for it.
Right. So grab your coffee or your melatonin sleep gummies and let's get into it.
So let's say this out loud. In summer, bedtime does not exist, right? It doesn't exist in my house in the summertime.
Oh no. Starts off like literally in our house the next day. It's all bets are off. They can stay up as late as they want. I don't care if it's midnight and they're eating popsicles. Like I have zero rules in the summer, and other moms who send their kids to my house know it.
They know they're coming. They're like, it's free time at Amy's house.
No rules. No rules.
Yeah, basically at my house in the summer, the sun is in charge. That if the sun is up, we're up. And even a lot past then, because and that's like it's the fun of it, you know? You want to have these memories of staying up late in summer. Nobody wants to be like hardcore boot camp rules in the summer on bedtime. That sucks.
I agree. And we're so jam-packed during the school year with like rehearsals and school. And I honestly, during the summer, I'm like, whatever. But I will say, I'm not one to even have any of these like back to school prep routines. And sometimes I do regret that later.
You said that, and I don't think I've ever done that. We go cold turkey. We're like, all right, guys, and tomorrow we're waking up early. Sorry, suckers.
Yeah, same. So then August hits and it's like, all right, bedtime boot camp.
Yeah, it's not, there's no rhyme or reason. Which, let's say this is a good reminder for everybody about how much sleep children actually need. So newborns, and these statistics right here include naps. So if your kid still naps, that counts. So don't stress over it. Newborns, 14 to 17 hours, including naps. I feel like my newborns sleep longer than that because they just sleep the whole time. Infants, 12 to 16 hours. Toddlers, 11 to 14 hours. Preschoolers, 10 to 13 hours, including naps. And if they're in preschool, they're getting a good 2-hour nap at school. So don't stress if it's 8 hours at home. Grade schoolers, 9 to 12, and then teenagers, 8 to 10. Okay. That's not that bad.
That's not. And let's also throw in there that everyone knows their kids better than anybody else.
Right.
So Adelaide, from the time she was born, has just been a late night kid. Like I used to.
Because she's the only kid. It's because the only one you stay up late with because you're like, this is fun.
Well, there you go. It must be. But like, I remember even when she was a newborn, like, and an infant, envying those parents who could like put their kids to bed at like 7:30, and then they have adult time after. So I remember trying that a couple times. I'm like, okay, we're going to like put her to bed at 7:30. No, it turns into being a nap for her. And then she's wide awake all night. So honestly, even in like, as long as I can remember, even especially when we started school, I kind of let her lead bedtime. Now, I won't let her up at 10 o'clock having a dance party in the living room. She has to be like showered and in her room. But if she's not tired and she's like up reading or she's watching a show, I'm okay with that. Because she's not someone, I can't make her be tired at 7:30. I just can't.
Right. Which I'll say this is interesting too. With 3 kids, and I remember when we just had Rue, it was a party every night. We were up every night because we didn't care. Who cares? But now that we have 3, and so just a reminder, I have at this time 11 Yeah, 11, 9, and 3 are their ages. They all go to bed at the same time. There's no like, oh, I remember growing up and like hitting third grade and got to stay up till like 8 o'clock, and it was so cool. And then like my older sister, she got to stay up till 9, and like there were all these rules about staying up late. My whole crew, we start our bedtime movie, which do a movie every night. We start a bedtime movie at like 7:45 or 8, and
Mhm.
everyone's asleep by 8:30.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, Rue has gotten a little bit different. The boys are sleeping at 8:30. Something happens with Rue. Like all kids, I think, get this like weird extra boost of energy right before bedtime that they're like, I'm gonna climb a mountain. It's gonna be so great. Rue spills the tea right about 8 o'clock. Like she gets on the couch, she gets cozy, and then all of a sudden she's like, so she tells
Yeah.
me her whole day.
It's so true. And especially, so I think there's different phases of bedtimes. And I think we've talked about this a little bit. Like there's the baby bedtime, there's the toddler, there's like, the littles. And certainly then you have all these parents who like sleep train and they're on a schedule, but that's definitely gold medal momming it, I think.
I think so too. I feel like that deserves a gold medal right
Yeah,
there.
but
You're on
now we're
schedule.
in this phase with our girls where you're right. Like right before bedtime is when Adelaide wants to tell me all the things, and I am not ever going to shut that down because that's when
It's
all the
great.
it's great. And as a mom, I want her, that meme that says I want her to come to me when she's scared or upset or afraid. I don't want her to be afraid of me. Like that's what builds that connection is when she's ready to connect with mom. So I'm like, all right, here we go. If we're staying up all night, we're staying up all night.
I agree. We'll have it. So right now we're doing, Rue and I watch Gilmore Girls. We're almost done. And Raleigh will kind of go back and forth. The boys watch the Marvel movies at night, and Raleigh will kind of hang out with the boys and come with us. But Raleigh will be like asleep, just dead to the world, laying on me, and Rue is still talking about, and sometimes it's legit stuff about like what's going on at school, what's going on, how she feels about things, what's going on, all the different things about getting older. And sometimes she's just like, have you ever thought about why an octopus has 8 legs? And I'm like, absolutely not. Go to bed. Nope.
Right.
Nope. We're not doing that. You're going to lay down.
Right, right. Well, so here was our routine last night as she's 12. Okay. Definitely different from like the toddler years. So we had dinner, she ate, and then her friend came over because they hadn't seen each other in 48 hours. So, oh my gosh, they were like dying. Her friend came over, they hung out. Friend left at like 8:15. So I was like, okay, Adelaide, like, are you going to shower and do
You
your
had
hair?
a play date on a school night. This is crazy talk.
Oh, are you kidding? Oh yeah, every night.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
oh yeah. Well, it's her friend that lives in the neighborhood. So
I know, but still, my kids would be like, that goes back to the single kid thing. Like that makes total sense for a single kid. That would rile my crew up like it would be a circus if
oh,
they're like, there's a new person in the house.
I didn't even think about that. Oh yeah, no. Like Evie will come over, even if it's just for an hour on a school night, just to like hang out or whatever. In fact, a lot of times, because I pick Adelaide up because we don't have buses, I'll pick Evie up on the way home from school, and she'll come over and hang out with Adelaide, and then like I send her back.
Oh, we have done that. Rue has gone over to a friend's house after school,
Yeah.
but that makes sense. But I feel like if I had someone come over like post dinner, my kids would lose their minds. Be
Well,
like, it is a party.
that's all right. Well, we did. So she left at about 8:15, and then I asked Adelaide because she's at the age now. I'm like, okay, are you showering tonight? We've never really been every night showers. Certainly, she does not wash her hair every night. She's got so much hair. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna shower, wash my hair tonight. I'm like, okay. So she's in there for 100 years, and
Right.
probably.
I was gonna say the same. So it's the longest shower ever.
Oh yeah, yeah. I definitely, as an 80s kid, would have been getting yelled at by my dad. Like, you're wasting water. We don't do that either. So, in fact, Steve and I were out here and he's like, can you hear her? She was just like belting show tunes in her shower. So she comes out, it's like 9:15, and I'm like, okay, time to like, start settling down. I said, pick up, the playroom, pick your stuff up off your floor, especially on Sunday night. I like a good, nice reset of the house. I don't want any clothes on the floor. I don't want any crap on the couch. So she's picking that up. And then I said, I'm going to go put my pajamas on. I'll come in, give you a kiss goodnight, tuck in. So I do that. It's like 9:30, 9:45. And she's like, can I have a barbecue sandwich? I'm like, what? No. Actually, I think it was 10. I'm like, it's 10 o'clock. She's like, but I'm hungry. And I'm like, you should have had more at dinner. She's like, but I wasn't hungry 3 hours ago. I was full. I'm like, oh my gosh. So,
But what do you say? Because they're growing bodies. I have the same problem with Roger. Roger in the middle of the night, I'll be like, can I just have a hamburger? Like, I can't just have a hamburger.
well, from the time she was little, I never wanted her to go to bed hungry. I was not,
Right.
all this 1980s trauma where it's like, nope, you should eat at dinner. And then you're like starving. I was like, I'm not doing that. But now that she's older, I'll tell her, yeah, you can eat whatever you want as long as you fix it. Like, I don't care what you do. I'm going to bed. So sure enough, she had herself a barbecue sandwich. I got up this morning about 5:30 and I came out and there was an empty plate on the counter where she had eaten it and put her plate back up on the counter. So I don't know what time she goes to bed. It could have been midnight for all I know. But the one rule I do have in this bedtime season is when I come to wake you up in the morning, I wake her up at 7. She doesn't have to leave the house until like 10 till 8. And the second I go to wake her up and she's a butthead or she is sleepy or she cannot get up, then all bets are off and we're gonna have a bedtime routine. But so far, so good.
I'll
Like,
tell you, it is so funny the different personalities. So my husband and I are very different personalities about just in general in life. I'm more extroverted. He's a social introvert. And when I wake up, I'm like, thank you, God, the day is amazing. And I run around the house. Chris is like, I hate everything. Everything sucks and I'm tired. Rue and Raleigh are exactly like Chris. And so I just know that they're not sunshines in the morning. Even if they got enough sleep, they just wake up mad at the world. And they're mad that they have to wake up. Whereas Roger's like me, that he's like, what are we doing today? And I'm like, yeah, buddy. So I know they're going to be butt heads in the morning. And actually, what I did is I made it like the way that we've kind of worked our morning schedule is Chris handles Rue in the morning. And I'm like, you two can have each other with your cranky vibes. They do. And they'll get little arguments in the morning that I'm like, it's because you're the same person. And that's okay. It's okay. And sure enough, like it doesn't last. They're like 15 minutes in, once they get some food in their bellies, they're like, oh, I'm good. Life's good. But it is that like morning when they wake up that they are just, we couldn't do it on whether they get sleep or not, they're cranky. It's
yeah.
just their beans.
Yeah. Well, and when Adelaide was younger, I think I've said this on previous episodes. Like Steve and I think we are amazing parents at a lot of stuff, but we have always sucked at bedtime in terms of like it was never, and we also did it to ourselves. Like I can remember back, it was kind of like a Broadway production. I mean, like she would want me to lay down with her. I'd have to rub her back. I'd have to read something. She'd come in bed with us. Like it was never the same time. Like I don't know. And then, then you get in that season. It doesn't last very long, but it's like, hey, I forgot to tell you something, or hey, I want some water, or hey, I have to potty. Like they just keep giving more reasons to stay up, right?
Right.
And
So
and
let's talk about that though.
yeah,
The sleeping, the co-sleeping. I have such a hard time with this because I love co-sleeping. I think we've actually talked about that before, that I love the snuggles. I love having that time with them. I think that it's such a wonderful part of life that is not going to last for
yeah,
sure. And
yeah.
yet in my house, it seems like it's lasting because Chris every night will be like, I'm done, I'm out. And
Yeah.
Chris will go sleep on the couch. And I am in the bed with 3 children, and they're all just there's so many of them that I honestly thought the other night something happened, and it was a weekday night, so I really didn't care. But everyone had like had a bad dream or something had happened, and so they were all in my bed. And part of me was like, there is a queen size bed, a full size bed, and a twin size bed. all up for grabs right now in this house. I need to just leave. So I left. I was like, I'll just go sleep in the kids' room. I don't care.
I don't care. I don't care. Well, there were so many times. So we also like Adelaide slept with us for the longest time. And there were so many times where we could not see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I know Steve especially was like, oh my gosh, like, because she would usually end up kicking him or cuddling up against him, and he didn't get any good sleep. But we could not see the light at the end of the tunnel. But eventually it happens. Like you get there.
Do you know what we did that I think we need to start doing again? This is so terrible. Maybe it's terrible. Maybe it's genius. I don't know. But I got these two mason jars, and I could probably do three now because Raleigh's 3.5. Um, and for every night that the kids slept in their own beds through the whole night, they got $1 that night. There were two rules. They had to make their beds, and I didn't want stress in the morning, so they had to make their beds before they could but when they came home. If they didn't do it before school, just right when you come home, make your bed. They had to make their beds, and they had to sleep in their own bed the whole night, and then they got $1 every day. And then if they didn't, then they got $1 taken away. And I'm telling you, those two, they didn't come into our bed for like 3 months. And they're like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
They're only incentivized by money.
Oh,
That's all.
gotta know what works. Gotta know what works. And I have had, because we were big co-sleepers too, and just gonna go like here, this is not PG, but we had so many people, especially I had so many other moms ask me, they're like, your baby's always in your bed. Like, how are you getting intimate with your husband? And I'm like, listen, Linda, if you're only doing it in the bed, you're doing it wrong.
Agreed. I've had the exact same conversation with people, and I'm like, you're doing it wrong.
Like, listen, that baby eventually falls asleep in your bed. You do not have to stay in your bed.
You don't have to stay in that bed.
Oh, get out of
People
that
are going
bed.
to come over to our houses now and be like, I don't want to sit on your couch or your
Right.
kitchen
Well,
counter.
I will say something though, we do use, so there are nights where I'm like, baby, you have to go to bed because either we have to get up early, we have a flight,
Sure.
we have something, or you have an audition, like you need good sleep. So we do supplement with a melatonin sleep gummy.
Which is that's a big like
yeah.
debate. And
Yeah.
we're melatonin people too.
Well, let's talk about that for a second for all of our listeners, because I can remember back when Adelaide was like 5, I gave it to her every now and then I heard that it was bad, so I actually threw it all away. But that actually is not true anymore. And I've got a little bit of a science lesson if you want to hear it.
I love a good science lesson from the science girl.
Right. So it a lot of people think that melatonin can cause an issue, that it can be habit forming, or it causes this negative feedback loop where it impacts your body's ability to actually naturally produce it. And that has been disproven, actually. That was from junk science, that was from this article that then just got shared over and over and over and over and over, and it looks like science, but it's actually not. Um,
That's
melatonin,
fascinating. And yeah, that's what I've heard too. And might I say, still giving my kids melatonin because I treasure my own sleep. I had heard that it wasn't great for them, that I kept beating myself up thinking, oh my gosh, we've got to stop giving this to the kids because it's bad for them, but I wanted to go to sleep. And if not, they would be wired.
and actually, melatonin is one of your body's master antioxidants, which I had no idea.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's produced in the pineal gland by the brain, and it has over 60 years of scientific study, and supplemental melatonin use based on clinical research evidence should be about 5 milligrams. It's not been shown to ever be addictive, and it does not reduce your response over time of your body's ability to create it itself.
Interesting.
I know it's safe and it's effective. And I will also tell you, I didn't realize this. Um, and because it is false and the research doesn't support it, we have to unlearn a lot of things once we know the actual research. It actually helps your melatonin receptors release what they're holding on to. And so our melatonin receptors hold on to things like if we've ever taken medicine or like prescription drugs, our receptors hold on to that and it like stores it as toxins. So taking melatonin helps kind of release that. So a lot of times when your kiddos or yourself, if you take melatonin and you have nightmares or you're actually waking up in the middle of the night, it's because your receptors are detoxing all the funk they've been holding on to. Did you know that?
So, and that is interesting because I have actually thought about the dosage that I give my kids, and I think about it in correspondence with if they have a nightmare that
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Because it is, if something gets off, or like Rue has sleep gummies that she loves, and if she has more than normal, she'll have a nightmare.
Yes. Yep.
Whereas she needs to be on that same, you kind of got to find what works for you, really.
You do. They actually, so a doctor that you and I both know, he actually said that if that happens, you want to play with the dosage, most likely cut it in half, and you want to continue that for 21 days because 21 days is a cell cycle. And then you stop, and then you can see if everything is like more balanced because that same thing happened with Adelaide. I would give her the melatonin and she was like, well, no, because I wake up in the middle of the night when I take it. And I'm like, oh, that's a sign of detox. But anyway, that's like a good wellness minute. Melatonin has been used for everything from like COVID research, cancer treatment. Some people take it daily. It's great for hormones and fertility. Like there's all kinds of science. If somebody has, if they're like on a CPAP or they're doing sleep studies because they're having issues with their sleep, nightly melatonin has a lot of health benefits. There's articles on NIH and like all kinds of science. So I just thought that was awesome because I had only heard that rumor and that junk science that it's bad for you. So I literally can remember making a Facebook post back when Adelaide was like 5 of me throwing away my melatonin.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel
anyway,
like I do remember that too. And so I feel like with that little science bit, we have fully prepped anyone who's trying to comment on this episode and saying, I heard melatonin's bad. No, you didn't listen to the whole episode, child. Don't come to us with your negative melatonin comments. We're loaded.
that's right. And it can help. And it doesn't mean you're like drugging your child. Your body knows
No.
it. Yeah. Sometimes you just need help. It's no different than giving them their daily vitamin.
Well, and think about this stuff too. Like we were talking about with the girls are having this like boost of energy to bond. Like you want that, but then they need help calming down. And like my boys, they all they do is wrestle. And so once they stop wrestling, they do calm down. And here's another thing that's really interesting too. Raleigh, I give him melatonin, and he does just 1 milligram of melatonin a night because it does help him just calm down. He doesn't have any melatonin at nap time. And because his body has gotten so used to like knowing how to sleep and when to sleep, he's the first one out at nap time. All the teachers are like, I never have to worry about Raleigh. He's like, nah, nah, and I'm out. Like but so it's not like you're drugging them every single time to get them to go to sleep. You're getting their bodies to work correctly. But that's our whole health bit on melatonin.
Sure. Well, I just think as a mom, I would have loved to have known back when I thought it was bad that that's not true. Because,
Oh, I beat myself up for years.
yeah, me too. Me too. It felt really bad. So don't feel bad, moms. Don't feel bad, mamas. You do want a good, like high quality melatonin. And like that dose has been
If your
studied.
melatonin is covered in sugar so it tastes good, that's not a good melatonin.
Right, exactly.
Don't do that.
That is
No
not-
vitamin or kid anything should be covered in sugar.
Agreed, agreed. So I'll let you know about bedtime tonight. So all bets are off because it's a rehearsal night for us. I mean, I honestly
Oh,
how people do it, like kids who have practice every single night, because it's different. When I was a kid, practice was only right after school. Now, like practices don't start until parents get off work. Like Adelaide's rehearsal goes until late. Sometimes we don't get home until 10, 10:30, 11. I don't know how sports parents do it, but I do know that it doesn't have to be perfect. And the best thing you can do for bedtime is to lower the bar.
100%. If your teeth are brushed, well, maybe teeth are brushed. We aim for brushing our teeth every night. Pajamas are on. They don't have to be matching pajamas. Underwear and a t-shirt totally works in my house.
Yeah, well, for us, we do not brush our teeth every night. and my dentist is fully aware because I totally admit that. I also don't floss twice a day like I should. But for Adelaide, she's a stickler. Sister does not like to fall asleep in her clothes. So pajamas are a non-negotiable in our house. But everything else, teeth brushed, hair brushed, room picked up, sometimes those go right out the window.
We do have, like, we try to, well, I'm doing it now with the 11 and the 9-year-old, that we're adding the face washing to it.
Yeah.
Making sure. And I mean, Rue's all about it. Roger's like, why am I doing this? I hate everything. But I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy. You're gonna thank me.
Yeah. I will say that is the
Well,
best.
hormones.
Yeah, that's the best thing that's happened with the skincare craze is Adelaide will actually be asleep in bed and she will wake up out of a dead sleep to go wash her face if she forgot.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's a great habit and something I will never, ever, ever do.
But we'll find our stuff in their bathroom and be like, dang it, I didn't wash my face last night, but now it's in their room.
Yeah, I know.
But yes, basically, I really think you got to lower the bar on bedtime. And really, you got to know what is working for your kid, know what is appropriate. If your kid is thriving, guess what? You're doing great.
Yeah.
If your kid is successful at school, staying awake at school, guess what? You're doing great.
Yeah.
You don't have to have these, you'll know if they didn't get enough sleep. You'll know if something's off. So it's kind of like if it isn't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
Don't look at these stats and think like, oh my gosh, they're only getting 8 hours of sleep. They should be getting 10. Maybe they don't need 8 hours of sleep.
And also know that there are seasons and you will move through those seasons even if you can't see a light at the end of the tunnel. I can remember the season where I was in her bed every single night and I would fall asleep in her bed because she wanted me in there with her. And then I would fall asleep and then I'd like wake up at 2 a.m. still in my clothes, you know, like that jolt of, oh my gosh, where am I? And so my sleep certainly suffered. But I promise you there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Right now, we're in the 12-year-old phase and it's glorious. It's phenomenal. It's very great. I'm getting great sleep, which is great if you're an older mom because like I've realized I need more sleep now for everything. Like
I do. I do need more sleep and I'm not getting sleep. Every time I talk to my dad on FaceTime, he's always like, you look tired. And I'm like, the lighting on this thing's got to get better.
Well, you're in it. You are in it.
We're in it.
You'll have littles. You're not, you may have a 12-year-old, but you're not solidly in the fun 12-year-old phase because you still have littles.
No, I still got some that are, last night we had a battle because I said, okay, it's late, one book. And he's like, okay, one book. And now one more book. Each book is one book. And I'm like, oh my gosh. 3 books in. Finally went to bed.
Right. Yeah.
So moms, dads, anyone listening, if your bedtime feels more like WrestleMania than sweet lullabies, you're not alone.
That's right. You got a bronze medal in parenting tonight, and that's the only thing we care about.
So share this episode with a mom friend who's currently hiding in her bathroom while her kids beg for just one more story.
And don't forget to subscribe, leave a quick review, and then come hang out with us over on Instagram at Bronze Medal Moms.
Bronze medals beat burnout every time, friends. Until next time, you're doing a great job, Mama.
Bye, friends.
Thanks for listening to our moms on Bronze Medal Moms. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. See you soon.